It's called Unsuccessful Thug, one comedian's journey from Naptown to Tinseltown. Mike Epps is with us tonight. The album is called Who Built the Moon? Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds from the Mercedes-Benz stage. Our first guest tonight is a legendary Laker who's 3 years ahead of the Hall of Fame, and on the way there, he picked up an Oscar for Best Animated Short. It is called Dear Basketball. Please say hello to Kobe Bryant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that you're carrying it around.
I mean, what in the hell?
Have you been carrying it around?
I mean, I'm still tripping about it.
I would think so. You probably thought you were done winning awards, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't won a championship in a really, really long time. So, here we are.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I mean, it really is unbelievable. You know, you now have more Oscars than Shaq and Michael Jordan combined.
Yeah. Hey, you know... Space Jam and Kazam were both awesome, though.
In their own ways, yes.
In their own ways, yeah. But no, this is just a fantastic, fantastic.
I don't think I've ever seen you this happy. I have to say.
This is not supposed to happen. Like, I'm supposed to play basketball and, you know, and
is this where it
write
is?
Something that wins an Oscar.
Will you be going for a Grammy? I mean, are you going to record an... What's next?
I know my limitations. You know what I mean? Like, singing is not... I don't even sound good in the shower.
Okay,
so
all right.
I'll let that be.
So when you're at the Oscars, you're sitting there, and I'm wondering about you, and I was thinking about you for a lot of the night because I'm wondering, like, how it compares to playing basketball. Like, are you nervous-wise? How does it compare, like, sitting there waiting to hear your name or maybe not hearing your name, and being the guy who's taking the last shot?
I thought it was actually going to be easier. Because you're not in control. There's no direct competition going on, right, where you're affecting the outcome. So
it's completely out of your control.
It's out of my control. It's going to be easy. It's cool. And then once it gets closer and closer, you start feeling butterflies in your stomach. You're like, why the hell am I feeling this? And I realized it's actually worse because I'm not in control of the outcome. And you're just sitting there, and then we know our award is coming up next, and then they go to commercial. Me and my wife are like, oh, you gotta be kidding. Right? Come on, let's go. Let's go already.
Glenn Keane, who was your collaborator on this, he's director and animator, gave most of the speech. I think everybody was kind of hoping to hear from you, and you got to say a little something. Was that the plan going in?
No, Glenn is like the sweetest guy in the world, obviously a genius. And, but, you know, he's a storyteller at heart. So things tend to drag out a lot.
I see, yeah.
So, you know, I didn't know this, but you go up on the stage, and they literally have, like, the biggest countdown clock in the world.
Yeah.
Like, right in front of you. It's like 45, 44. I mean, these things, there's, like, massive numbers,
and
right?
you're used to getting it in before that clock expires.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it, right? Countdown, I hit the shot at the buzzer.
Everybody else is like, enough with the clock.
No, Glenn, man. Glenn gave me the ball. He passed the ball to me with 5 seconds left on the clock, and I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with 5 seconds?
What did you want to say that you didn't get to say?
Well, the most important part I got out, which was thanking my wife and thanking our daughter.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
For sure.
But, you know, outside of that, you know, I think it's, you know, this is a fascinating industry to be a part of. But I think, you know, for us going forward, it's you know, how do I carry this night beyond this night?
That's always how you think, isn't it?
But it has to be, right? Because now there's a greater sense of responsibility of, you know, how do I create, how do I provide more opportunities for even more diverse and new voices to be heard in this industry?
I see.
And like in the animation business, I mean, it's a serious lack of diversity there.
Is it? Is that true?
Oh, it's a serious lack of, I mean, when I won the award the other night, I was the first African-American to ever win that award in that category.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I am extremely excited. And, you know, at Grandy Studios and with Glenn, we're really excited to push that forward.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to look at it, for sure. So you want to do more of this kind of stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Is acting something you want to do? It is not.
No. I don't have the patience to do that. Like, I'd much rather write and put the story together.
Almost every actor I spoke to, and a lot of them came through here after various Oscar events, there's a luncheon beforehand, they were by far most excited about the fact that you were there. The other actors are like, great, whatever, but like, for instance, Timothée Chalamet was actually like kind of shocked that you would even take a moment to get in the background of his photograph. And this is Frances McDormand, who is, I don't know who's more excited to meet who there, but there seems to be a lot of mutual admiration. Was there anybody there, I mean, besides obviously you were excited to meet Frances McDormand, that you just couldn't believe you were talking to?
Allison is incredible. And I think, for us personally, me and Hermione Granger was like...
Oh, really? You love Harry Potter, right?
Of course, you know, she's transitioned out of that sense, right?
Yeah, right. But not to you. You're going to keep her in there.
Yeah, she's Hermione to us, right? And I met her when she was really, really young. She came to a Laker game, and but to see her there with my wife, that was pretty cool.
What parties did you guys go to afterward?
So we did Vanity Fair. Yeah, we did the Vanity Fair party.
I have a little present for you. It's something, I don't know if you'll use this, but I want you to have this because I think this would be great. This is for Oscar, actually, not for you.
Oh,
got a little jersey for him. And then,
that is awesome.
if you win another Oscar, or maybe you just want to change it out, you can just put that right.
That's so sweet.
Oscar doesn't have arms. Kobe Bryant will be right back.
That's so good, man.
And you have a show, you have a new show that's really an interesting concept. Tell us about this show.
Well, it's called Detail.
Okay.
And the whole idea for Detail was how do I help the next generation of basketball players? You can take them out on the court, you can show them exercises and drills, things of that sort, but I think the most important thing is studying the game. I've learned from Phil Jackson, Tex Winter, some of the greatest minds, how to actually watch film and study. So that's what that show encompasses. It's really me taking on the personality of a player, be it James Harden or Kevin Durant, whoever the case may be, and this is how I would watch this game if I was them.
So you, day of the game, night of the game, you sit there, you watch the game.
Watch the game, pull the clips, say I want that clip, want this clip, want that clip, and then immediately after the game, we put those clips together and I go and I break down the action. Like if I was Kevin Durant right now and this particular defensive action is giving me troubles, I have to try to figure out why and then try to figure out what that counter is. And
interesting. So
everything from footwork to balance, I mean, everything.
You're putting yourself in the mind of that player and saying what you would do or what you think they should do or both, some combination of
both. If I was them, this is how I would be watching the film. This is what I'd be looking for. This is what I would be checking.
I see. Okay, now I got you. Oh, interesting. And what is the number one thing when you're watching film that you look for, if there's one tip above all?
Well, the most important thing when you watch film is you really have to check the ego at the door. And you're not looking for anything in particular, but you're seeing everything, right? You can't come in with the idea of saying, okay, I generally know what I'm going to see. And because when you do that, that's when your mind starts looking for that particular thing.
So you have to look at it with a blank slate.
Blank slate, clean canvas, and look at things and try to figure out why they work, try to figure out why things didn't work, then try to figure out the things that didn't work, how can we make them work better next time against this particular action.
I watched your conversation with Shaq. You guys sat down and talked for like an hour.
Yeah,
and it was
that was fun, man.
So good. It was so much fun to watch. I would imagine that was fun.
Yeah.
Had you, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it, but had you and Shaq sat down and talked before?
No, like we would never have the time to do that.
Right.
You know? And
well,
so,
you would have the time, but it gives you an excuse, right?
Gives you a reason to actually do it.
To do it.
Like, he's not going to call me up and, hey, man, let's meet at Starbucks, so let's have a chat. I'm like, what? Bro, I got to do, man. I ain't got No.
Did you feel good after that?
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It seemed good. It made me feel good. I was like, oh, good. I'm glad these guys are getting along.
Yeah.
You guys, one of the things, you were very candid. And I mean, I thought it was, you talked about a fist fight.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I want to ask.
I was nuts.
Who threw the first punch in that fist fight?
Oh, he did.
He did, yeah.
I couldn't reach him. He was like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw this big fist. I mean, the fist is like literally this big. Like, during the interview, I pick up his hand. I'm looking at the size of his hand. I'm going, I must have been the craziest 19-year-old in the world to fight this guy, man. But it was just, it just is what it is.
So he threw a punch, like a real punch.
Yeah, he threw a punch. I had to slip it. And then I threw one back, and then everybody jumped in and just broke it apart.
I wouldn't have jumped anywhere near that. I mean,
yo, listen. At that point, you just got to say, look, man, either you're going to beat the hell out of me, but you're going to know
that you're not going to back down.
Yeah, I'm not going back down. And we kept playing because it was during the scrimmage.
I see.
So we're playing pickup basketball. We kept playing.
Afterwards, like in school, if you get in a fight with a guy, afterwards, like you kind of become closer in a way. Did that happen at all?
Well, no, because like we were scrimmaging, and his team was up 5-2, and the game goes to 7. So after the fight, I just got really pissed and scored every point, and then we won the game, and I let him know about it. So that kind of soured any opportunity for us to kind of...
I hope you don't do that to the other filmmakers.
No.
Well, it's great to have you here. The show, it's called Detail. It premieres this spring exclusively on ESPN+. Kobe Bryant, everybody. Thanks, Kobe. This is my guest.
Are you lost, children? I bet you're hungry and in need of comfort.
You'll encounter things you think you know, but you don't. Trust nothing.
Are you lost, children?
Disney's A Wrinkle in Time, rated PG. In theaters tomorrow. Get tickets now.
Feel the power of Theraflu Express Max. New power to fight back. Theraflu's powerful new formula to defeat 7 cold and flu symptoms fast. So you can play on. Theraflu Express Max. New power.
Join T-Mobile, and the whole family can stay connected with new iPhones, which is great. Unless your parents thought you were studying.
Aren't exams this week? Somebody's busted.
So join T-Mobile, buy an iPhone 8, get an iPhone 8 on us. And for a limited time, bring your family to T-Mobile and get a 4th line free. Only at T-Mobile.
This is the Pepsi that was right for Ray. And Brittany. Brittany! And of course, the king of pop. This is the